Alright y'all, welcome back to the channel and to some more rifle testing here. And I've got a pretty special one out here today. And you guys have yet to see it, and it's been several years since I've actually brought it out of the safe. So I'm really curious to actually kind of formally test this and see what kind of numbers we can actually get out of it. So for the setup that I decided to bring out of the safe, it is essentially my first big game hunting rifle. I took my first deer with this rifle, and a number more after that. I've taken pigs, rams, bear, just about everything with this over the years growing up. It's not known to be a very amazing rifle, but it's always done pretty decent for me anyway. But that rifle is this guy. This is a Remington Woodsmaster 750 carbine, and it's chambered in 308. Up on top I have a Leupold VX1 3-9x40, just a pretty decent little hunting scope here. Now like I said, these rifles are not particularly known to be all that amazing. They tend to jam a lot and kind of average accuracy, but this one has always been pretty decent for me. So I found some of the little bit older Hornady Custom rounds here. They are a 308 165 grain boat tail soft point interlock projectile. So I'm really curious to see how this setup can actually do. It may shoot pretty good. It may be kind of subpar. I honestly don't know. I'm hoping that I can just bring this thing back out and it should still be zeroed, or at least close enough to being zeroed for where we can get some good groups here. But either way, for testing, I do have the chronograph. The box calls for 2,700 feet per second. Now that is a much shorter carbine length barrel, so I doubt we see 2,700, but who knows, it may surprise us. But either way, I've got a target set up over at 100 yards, as well as the chronograph, so we will be able to see what kind of velocity we're getting and our energy numbers. So we will shoot 3 groups, 3 shots each. So let me get you guys set up on the target and the chronograph, and we'll get to shooting and see what kind of numbers we can actually squeeze out of this setup. Alright, so looking at our chronograph numbers here, this is about what I expected. That 2,700 feet per second on the box, yeah, we might see that out of a 26 or 28 inch barrel. But this short little carbine barrel, we're not going to see that. So 2,500s-ish is not too terrible, and it's about what I expected to see, really. So for a high, we had 2,569. For a low, we had 2,501. And for an average, we had 2,546. So they seem relatively consistent, not too terrible as far as extreme spread goes. But once again, 2,500s-ish feet per second, that's about what I expected to see out of that shorter barrel. So let's go look at our target and measure it up and see how it actually performed in our groups. Alright, so here are our 3 groups. And I think right off the bat, it's pretty interesting how we started off pretty centered up, and we got lower and lower as our groups went on. I don't really know why that would be. I mean, the barrel would have a little bit more heat and a little bit more gunpowder residue and stuff in it, so that very well could have made the difference. Although I did wait about 5 minutes between groups, so heat really should not have been too much of an issue for us. But I thought right off the bat we were going to get some real nice looking groups here. But they're not terrible, but they're not great either so far anyway. But let's measure them up with my calipers here and see how they actually did. Alright, so that first group up in the top gave us a 1.03 inch group there. So we're right at 1 MOA essentially at 100 yards. So that's not too bad for a hunting rifle like that that's not really known for accuracy in the first place. And with soft point lead hunting ammo like that, that's not too bad. I still like to see my groups ideally in the same hole, but as close to touching as I can get. But for our first group, it's not too terrible. So let's measure our second group down in the bottom left and see how that one did. Alright, so our second group gave us a 1.82 inch group down here in the bottom left. So we definitely opened up quite a bit. I was hoping for a little bit better, but I'm not entirely surprised either, I guess I'll say. So let's measure our third group up in the bottom right over there. I think it's going to be pretty close or just a tiny bit more open, but let's see how it actually did. Alright, so pretty much like I expected, it's very similar. 1.89 inch group or so just a little bit more open than that second group. All in all, this would absolutely do the job for you for hunting purposes inside of 100 yards. It's no long range setup, but it would get the job done on a deer for sure. I was hoping to see a little bit better, but I'm not entirely surprised either, like I said just a second ago. But I do know that I have gotten better groups than this out of that rifle before, so I think we should do some more ammo testing with it and see what it can do with some other ammunition. So leave a comment and let me know if that's something you want to see, because I definitely think I want to test it out and see what I can actually pull out of that rifle. Alright, well, what did you guys think about how that performed? I definitely don't think it did terrible, but it's pretty much what I expected to see, really. Those rifles in particular are not really known to be super precision accurate, but they're known to be decent for a hunting rifle. And for a little bit older of a Hornady Custom, just your basic lead soft point hunting load, it's really about what I expected to see. It would absolutely take a deer out to 100 yards for sure, but I still think we can squeeze some more out of that rifle. And I know that I have shot better groups out of that rifle a number of years ago, so I do know it's possible. So is that something that you might want to see? We'll bring out that rifle and test some different ammo and see if we can get any better performance out of it as far as accuracy goes. I know that rifle's been on a lot of hunting trips with me, and it's walked a lot of miles through a lot of woods, and it's always gotten the job done for me. So it's definitely capable. But what do you think, and what has been your experience if you've used one of these Woodsmaster 750s or the little bit older 7400s or something of that sort? Leave a comment and let me know your thoughts about it all. And stay tuned, because we've got plenty more really interesting things coming, both rifle and shotgun related. And I'm going to jump back to some testing. So with that being said, I'll see y'all in the next one.